Your St. Paul's ancestor would be proud. You were just about to have the altar call there. And that's a good thing. It's an important thing for us to have those kinds of altar calls and doing things. And we've got just a few minutes for questions and answers. There's some people I understand who have microphones somewhere in the back of the hall, right? So while you're thinking about what your question is going to be, I just want to give one more little canary anecdote, because it again illustrates what Bill was talking about. In the mid-1990s, when that fiber optic thing that he was talking about started to be mentioned in the press, there was a diagram that went with it, and it said the world's first cross-country national fiber optic cable, and it ran from Vancouver to Halifax. Now, I'm still a relatively new Cape Bretoner at that point, president of something called the University College of Cape Breton. We're very into technology. Thought, hey, we gotta have something to do with this, you know? So naively, I came to Halifax, went to see the people in the provincial government who might help with it, said, you know, this great thing's gonna be built and we need to be connected in Cape Breton. And here's why. Well, they actually laughed because Cape Breton at that time had the same kind of reputation that Hamilton did. And they said, forget it, never gonna happen. Nobody in Cape Breton would ever use this stuff, and we're not going to spend the money. Now, my mother could have told them the worst thing you can ever do is say no to me. Yeah. So I went back home, licking my wounds, thought, okay, so I'm going to have to go around them to Ottawa. But nobody's going to believe me in Ottawa either, because of that reputation. So I thought, I got to get on that canary board. So, with a few phone calls, I managed to get myself positioned to be on the canary board. And then with a few other people in the particular group, I thought, I need to be chair of this thing, so the next year I was elected chair. And by this time we're getting to the point where we're almost ready to build. And so I said to Andy Buring and to everybody else, how can we build this new thing and Newfoundland's not connected? You've left off a whole province. Now, of course, to get to Newfoundland, you've got to drop it in terms of landfall about 20 kilometers from the University College of Cape Breton. And that's how we got Canary. So the moral of the story is, don't let them say no and go away. Find a way around. Now, I'm sure there's some questions that people have. You're going to have to wave your hand pretty well because these lights make it difficult to see people toward the back of the room. So if you can, stand up. People who are holding the microphones, put your hand up and we'll try to reach you at the table. Anybody have a question or a comment?
Somebody over there.
Okay, can we get a microphone over here then?
Hi. I guess this is more of a comment instead of a question. I just
Can you tell us who you are?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
My name's Faisal. I'm a second-year student at the NSCC at the Truro campus there. And as I said before, this is more a comment instead of a question. I just wanted to say, on behalf of all the students here, we just wanted to thank Digital Nova Scotia for getting us out here to be part of this, for being part of this dinner. It means a lot to us. Thank you.
Thank you, and we're delighted that all the students are here. Other comments or questions? Okay, here in the middle.
Hi, John Sherwood, and a question for Bill. With the I initiative, is it somewhat of a chicken and egg thing? Do you first become an intelligent community and win the award? Or does the award come first and then generate the intelligent community afterwards?
It's interesting, as you talk to communities that have won the award, it's not kind of, we got to the award and oh, that's it, sort of stop. They have really, they'll tell anybody, if you talk to Windsor, Stratford, Waterloo, that it's a journey. And they really are becoming intelligent communities as they work their way up to applying, because there are a whole lot of criteria that are pretty well defined. Generally, and there's no rule about it, but most of the ones that have won the award have been in the top 7 finalists for a couple of years as well. So they really are reaching and matching the criteria for an intelligent community before they win the award. But just to give you an idea of how popular the award is within the cities that win it, in 2006, a guy named Mr. Ma was mayor of Taipei, and Taipei won the award. He was so taken by the benefits to Taipei after when it was being publicized and everything else, and other incoming investment. When he became president of Taiwan, as he still is, he decided he wanted to create iTaiwan, and asked me and a few others to come on over and join a big national conference. He demanded that all the mayors come to the meeting, sort of whacked them on the head and said, you've got to become an intelligent community. And now there are a couple of them that are making the top 21 list as well. So you really do have to qualify before you get the award, and it's not just about having a trophy for your shelf. It's you're actually transforming the community as you do it, but then people, particularly Windsor, when I talk to the people from there, they'll say, boy, the changes keep coming as a result of doing it, because more and more people, even after winning it, get on the bandwagon.
Questions?
Any other questions or comments? If not, I'm going to, oh, sorry, we do have one, great. Yeah.
Bill, I was wondering if you could comment on what part you feel a culture change plays in developing an I-community. So, and whether or not you feel that education of the young people helps in that culture change.
That's a great question. One of the, I'll come up here so I don't have my back to anybody other than our chairman.
Come up here.
Excuse me. The culture is very important, and you really don't become an intelligent community unless you get a lot of collaboration going on in the community. A lot of communities are, and I can say this because I come from Toronto, and it is the ultimate stovepipe economy. You know, companies do well, they work by themselves and try to get them to collaborate, and drives government policy people nuts because they're always trying to pull a community together in Toronto, and it never happens. But it does transform, particularly in the collaboration area. People then create little committees and they really work together. But there's a very important social element to being an intelligent community as well. It's not just about economic development or broadband and things like that. It's about a lot of social innovation. And that will mean new ways of delivering healthcare, for example, interactive healthcare into the home. It'll mean new ways of delivering lifelong learning, because as we know, if the better the bandwidth, the more collaboration you can do on it as well. So it can have a transformative change on the culture. And once they win, and if they really publicize it, then the community really gets into it as well. When Windsor, part of the judging on this, there's an international jury panel. There's a university that does a lot of quantitative analysis. And then the founders, each of them draws a straw, and there are 3 of them, 7 communities, and so one person has to visit 3, and the other 2 guys visit 2 communities. And they spend 2 days in the community. Well, the communities really put on a show. I went down to Windsor to support them when they were in it last year. As I'm driving into Windsor, the billboards are always, they're all welcome to Robert Bell, and we're the most intelligent community in the world, and so the citizens got into it as well. So the fast answer is yes, there's a real transformative effect, not just so much in education and learning, but the kids. I think they finally say, well, geez, finally our parents got it, you know, this is good stuff.